Back to the charts with Big Boss Crypto, bringing another day trading analysis and more of a long-term price analysis on Bitcoin. And we're also going to take a look at Chainlink. We're going to discuss the rising M2 money supply, which could see crypto become supermassive black hole, according to Raoul Paul. We're going to take a look at the charts of the M2 and also the liquidation map. Stay tuned. So let's start off with the short-term day traders, because I know a lot of people tune in for that. So we're going to discuss that first, and then we're going to take a look at the next year, what we might expect going into 2024. But first of all, well, we have the last trading week of the year coming up. So we're going to discuss the double top formation right here. As you can see, if we zoom out, we've been in this market maker uptrend. And we're currently waiting for a reversal of some kind, because we had a double bottom formation, first leg up, first retrace, second leg up, second retrace, third and final leg up, which usually ends in a double top formation or an M formation. We haven't confirmed that yet, but we could see that we are on our way to form that double top formation. We need to break this local low right here, as you can see here, at 40.2k. When we break below that and close below it on the daily time frame, and we also have a volume candle right here, as you can see, that is your confirmation where you could theoretically go short. Not financial advice, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Theoretically you could do that, and we could theoretically see basically a markdown phase in 3 steps, because they mark it down in 3 steps and they mark it up in 3 steps. So could see first drop down possibly to this area right here at 35k. We'll have a retrace to the upside, possibly up to 40k again, to recover some of the volume cans which might get created to the downside, if you understand what I'm saying. So when we go to the downside, we're going to do it pretty fiercely, and when we do it fiercely, a lot of money is needed to create that fierce move, and we're going to recover that, because open orders are created when we move quickly to the downside. These slow moves, as you can see right here, when we create the double top formation, is usually driven by retail traders. So we could see a drop down, retrace, second leg down could be to this volume candle right here at 30k. We'll have another retrace from that point, and then we could create that double bottom formation. So speaking of long-term trading then, as you can see, we've been kind of in a steady uptrend ever since we created this double bottom formation around last New Year's Eve, and we had an explosive run to the upside from 15k all the way up to 45k almost, and we could see kind of a volatile year next year, because as you can see, we have created a lot of volume candles. As you can see, we had a fierce move to the upside. A lot of open orders are still up for grabs for the market maker, and those could get filled. Also, if we get a black swan event, we could go down to 17k again. So that's something I'm looking at. I'm looking at the first quarter or the first half year of next year could be in a downtrend. We could see sub 30k going into basically April, May, somewhere around that area, which is where I do think we could see the double bottom formation somewhere around 25k, possibly even lower, because we have volume candles all the way down to 17k. So don't be surprised if we go to those areas. The market maker could shock us all. You never know. And when we create that double bottom formation, I think it's the start of the bull run, because we have the halving going off in that time frame as well, in March, maybe April, May. That is where I do think the interest rates will be a lot lower, or not a lot lower, lower than they are today. The Federal Reserve said that in the last meeting. They're going to lower interest rates at least 3 times next year. And I do think it will start off after quarter 1, around April, May. And that is where I do think we'll bottom out, have a double bottom formation, and then bam, we're going into the bull run, which could lead to a 50-55k going into next New Year's Eve. So that is something I'm looking at. Possibly that we could reach the 50k, 55k mark going into the next year. That's something I'm looking at least. So we could see fierce moves to the downside, and then we could see a recall to the upside, and we could reach our all-time highs even going into next New Year's Eve. So somewhere around 55k to 64, 65k into the next New Year's Eve, and then we're gonna have a blow off top in Q1 2025. That's something I'm looking at least. That could be a realistic time frame going. If we take a look at the previous bull runs, it usually takes 1 year after the halving when we get a blow off top, and that could coincide with April, May 2025 being the top of the bull run, which, yeah, that's the next year's New Year's update video. But for this year, I do think Q1 will be pretty slow, and do think we could get some pretty hard drops to the downside going into, let's say, April, May. When we get into Q2, that's where we could get a bottoming out structure, and we're gonna reverse to the upside. That's something I'm looking at least. And as I said, rising M2 money supply will secret to become supermassive black hole. So this article is pretty long, and we covered it in yesterday's video regarding Chainlink, that when M2 money supply is increased, we see the Bitcoin price going up. So as you can see, the white line is Bitcoin price year over year, and the blue line is money supply year over year. So as you can see, when money supply is increased, the price of Bitcoin goes up. We saw that in 2017, 2020, and also we can see that now as money supply, the blue line, is going up, Bitcoin price is going up, which makes sense, because if money supply is increased, that's bad for the dollar, it loses value, and everybody goes to crypto instead. That's the name of the game. So Bitcoin is basically shorting money, if that makes sense to you all. And if we take a look at the recently updated chart, you can go into macro.me, and you can look up this global money supply chart compared to Bitcoin. As you can see, the yellow line is Bitcoin price chart, and the blue line is M2 money supply. So we had a bottom out structure here, as you can see, when money supply was at its lowest. So when they were reducing money from the markets, which was around December last year, and now they started to increase it, and Bitcoin price moves up as well. So follow this chart, have it in mind going into Q1 and into next year. When you see money supply is being increased, well, that's your signal that the bull run might start. Looking into the liquidation map, as you can see, a lot of money is stacked still to the downside, which could coincide with a drop all the way down to 30k in Q1. And then, as you can see, a lot of people have started building the shorts around the 63k area, and you know, the market maker likes to grab that money as well. So when we see that, we're gonna have the start of the bull run, possibly. Not financial advice, this is just my thoughts on the markets going into next year. And now let's take a look at Chainlink. So Chainlink have done some nice moves as well this year. As you can see, we were in this range for over a year, from $6 all the way up to $8.5, a couple of spikes below and above. We finally broke it in October this year, and wow, what an explosive move we had since then. We're up almost, let's pull it up from here, up almost 200% from our local lows around $6, as you can see right here, or even $5, sorry. which is kind of an explosive move. No stocks performed this well, at least in crypto terms. Yeah, well, everything is exaggerated here. But nevertheless, we've been seeing the same movement as Bitcoin, and you can see a double top formation coming up. If we break $12.8, you could call this a double top formation, and bam, we're going to the downside. I would like us to visit this falling candle right here to tap into this area. As you can see, this accumulation range, tap $8.5 and then bam, move out of there, recover all the open orders which have been created by the market maker, and then we could see the start of the bull phase going into second half of next year. That's it for today's day trading update and market updates for next year. I hope you learned something today. Have a good one. Big Boss out.